them produce quicker, therefore they can get their product out a whole lot faster
and make more money.
There you go. And then it's antibiotics. You know, they're injecting these into the animals, and they can't get rid of them at 100%. Therefore, whenever they're producing it and then pasteurizing the milk, they're boiling it to supposedly get all the chemicals and everything away, but they're depleting it of nutrients. And so now we're nutrient deficient. Then we're injecting all these chemicals. And you gotta think, what is that really doing to our babies? Mm-hmm. You know, what is it doing to our kids? And so some good supplements I always tell my patients, because a lot of people, they love dairy. And so cereals, what about cereals in the morning? If you can't drink the milk, what can you know, if our kids want cereal,
so what can we do?
And if you've heard of rice milk is a good substitute.
What about soy milk?
Soy milk, and from the research that's out there, that's another controversy. Mm-hmm. Soy typically isn't bad for you, but it's the processing of bringing it from soy to milk. And so same thing, there's preservatives, there's chemicals, and it actually has an effect on the thyroid. It can cause thyroid disorders. It can cause, you know, people with their metabolism. Because a lot of our kids, if you look at them, they're obese. 30% right now are obese. That's almost like 1 in 6 kids are obese. And it all goes back to nutrition, lack of exercise, you know, and how we take care of ourselves. So back to the soy, we want to increase their metabolism. We want to help them, but that's actually causing it to slow down, and it's causing more harm.
So you're recommending rice milk then?
Rice milk for sure, yep, and almond milk. And almond milk, if people are worried about calorie intake, always go with the almond milk first. It has less calories, and it's actually beneficial for you.
Really? Does it actually taste good though? And
that's the thing is that there is an acquired taste. Rice milk is more the consistency of skim milk.
Okay.
And so if they're used to that, then that would be a very good, you know, just kind of an additive. And key is not to tell your kids that you're really switching it, because it's something to do with a child as well. If they know that you're making a change,
they'll resist it.
Yeah. And so if you let them try it first, let them make the opinion of it and say, honey, how is this? Did you like it? And then you can, you know, tell them and incorporate, but then tell them why you did it. It's not to trick you or to, you know, to do anything bad, but it's just to help you in the long run. So definitely almond milk and rice milk for sure.
Well, those are very helpful solutions. Thank you. And we are actually going to take a break, so I want you guys to stay with us. We'll be right back with some more great insight from Dr. Jessica as we learn more about nutrition and how to keep our kids healthy.
Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat?
To stay dry.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I wasn't going to school because I was making money stealing cars. Well, I was 10 when I first got involved with drugs. I skipped school because, you know, nobody cared.
When I first got pregnant, school was not important to me, so I dropped out.
Well, if I don't finish school, then I can't go to college. I mean, that's the whole point of what I want to do with my life.
I still need to go to school to make it for myself.
I think I'm happier now. I know I'm happier now.
Welcome back to The Single Parent. I'm Jennifer Dow, and I'm here with Dr. Jessica, and we're learning about nutrition, what's really in foods, all the secrets we didn't know, and how to keep our kids healthy. We just finished talking about all the bad movies that are in nutrition, the things that aren't good for our body. And now we want to put this new knowledge into practice. We've agreed with you. We say, yes, okay, I see how this is a priority, and now we want to take some action steps. We want to change our kids' minds. We want to, cook healthy. But honestly, the task seems a bit overwhelming. worried about money, because normally eating healthy means more money. And we're worried about time, because we already don't have enough time. And the last thing I want to do is take time away from spending with my child to cook more food. So what can we do to address these things and still do what you've said?
Everything that you just hit on as far as time, money, stress, my patients are constantly, I'm constantly talking to them, gearing them, helping them be better planners in their life. Because if we plan out accordingly, we'll realize that we have much more time than what we think that we have. If we plan accordingly and we only buy what's needed, we have much more money saved than what we think that we're in lack of. Right. And so what I always start off first is we have to be better planners. And that goes back biblically. We have to be better stewards with everything that we have, with our days, with our thoughts, with our foods, with everything that we're putting in. Absolutely. And so if you look at it, and what I always encourage, choose a day, because it depends on, typically I like to do Sunday, just kind of, Sunday's the day that you just kind of do nothing and you kind of give back and you relax. Yeah, hopefully that would be it, but or whatever the day is for you, or even if it's not a day, if you maybe have 30 minutes or so, let's get a planner out, and let's see, well, what are the foods that we need to be eating? And it's as simple as fruits, it's as simple as vegetables, it's as simple as what good protein, good meats, chickens, turkey, fish. And obviously you want it baked and not fried, but make a menu of what you're going to plan to cook for your entire family, and then go shopping for that. But make sure that you stay clear, not to get off that budget, and just to stick to it, and to know that you're not going to do anything else but what's on here. And once you stick to the plan, you'll find out things are more easier, you're less stressed, you have more family time, and it just seems that everything comes together a lot easier.
Yeah, you are so right about planning. In fact, my family, we started about a year ago, started planning our menu, and then making our shopping list directly from our menu. And we ended up saving about $500 a month on our food budget. You don't realize how many times, because you may spend a little bit when you go the first time, but then you get home and realize you've forgotten all these things. But when you sit down and make that menu and know what you have to cook for, then you can make your menu, and it saves so much money. And what we found is we were able to afford to buy a few of the more healthy things if they were expensive. Sometimes it was just knowing how to choose them, and it really wasn't more expensive. But then we were able to save the money, so we could, if we needed to. $500 a month, that's not chunk change. That's the money.
Huge, absolutely.
So it's saving money too, I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so okay, so we have our plan. We know we're going to plan out our menu, and we're going to choose these right foods to put on our menu. So then the menu's planned. We're at the store. How do we know what to pick?
Okay, good question. Because people say, okay, I'm here and I want to eat healthy, and they have the want, they just don't know the how. It's like, what do we do? And so a lot of stores are getting smart, not smarter per se, but they're getting more helpful. And so they'll have certain sections that may say, all natural here. Or if you're looking at things, you want to look at things that say all natural. You want to look at, you can do organic fruit. If not do fruit, just make sure you clean it off really well. Try to get any pesticides off. Wash it, rinse it. But, just stick back to the basics. And what I tell my patients constantly is, let's get back to the God food. What was grown in the ground, or came off of trees, or that's what God put here on this earth for us to eat. Why is you look at something and it should be made of wheat, but then everybody's adding all this other stuff in there. And it's like, why do we need to eat what man believes is good for us when God has everything that we need that is here? So let's go back to basics. Let's go back to vegetables. Let's go back to fruits, to whole wheat. Like, if anything is white, too, that was another thing. If anything is white, you want to stay away from
white
that.
Bread.
White breads are absolutely no. Spaghetti, you want to stay away from all the whites.
What about whole wheat spaghetti? Is that
so
okay?
Whole wheat, yep. Whole wheat is definitely what you want to gear more to, because whenever you're looking at anything white, majority of the time they had to bleach that. Because if you look at the back of it, sometimes it'll say unbleached. And you're like, okay, well, if this one says unbleached, well, then I guess this one has to be bleached. But they don't have to put everything on the back of those labels. And so sometimes you eat what you think is healthy, but it's really not per se.
That's kind of scary.
It's very scary. And so you're